Nothing Phone 3A Pro is the most one-of-a-kind phone that I've ever used, solely because of the choices it makes. It was launched in a price segment where a phone cannot provide everything to the user, so it needs to make choices in its priorities. Most phones go one way, Nothing went the other, which makes it one of a kind. Now, whether it is the kind that is meant for you is what I will tell you in the next few minutes. To understand the path that the Nothing Phone 3A Pro took, we need to understand the path that it left. Most phones try to provide the best possible performance in this price, and Nothing skipped on that. Nothing Phone 3A Pro chose a weaker processor that is not too big on power, numbers, or gaming. The storage type it chose and the RAM it chose are both slower. Does it show up in real life? Yes. Sometimes you might see it stutter a bit at certain points. If you click too many pictures that need processing, or if you just quit an intense game, the phone might need a little bit. I also noticed the app loading times are slightly slower, but you will only notice it when you're actively using a faster phone alongside with it, which I did. And yes, the repercussions of these choices will show up, but that will happen 2 to 3 years down the line. But something you will certainly see for the next 2 to 3 years is smoothness. If your usage is limited to emails, messages, calls, social media, YouTube, which is most of the people, you're going to be fine. And even if you game and you play games like COD or BGMI, you're going to be fine. And if you like phones that stand out of the crowd, this is another thing that you're going to be more than fine with. This is the choice Nothing made. A unique design. I've been asked multiple times about this phone. The transparent design is still fascinating. The glyph lights are extremely bright and grab attention like you would expect it. Another thing that makes it stand out is the camera bump. It is huge. At first, it can even look intimidating, but with time, you'll learn to like it. And another bit of this design that I took time to adapt to is the width of this phone. It is a bit too wide, especially with how boxy the frame is. The Nothing Phone 2A was a lot more comfortable. This is a step away from that. But still, haptics remain excellent. Fingerprint scanner has been super reliable. The phone has survived with me through 3 different European cities, 3 different flights, and it has come out with just a single bump in the top right corner of the phone. And another excellent choice that the Nothing Phone 3A Pro makes is with its display. This display is amazing for its price because it gets the one core thing absolutely spot on. The brightness of the display under the sun. I've used it under the sun multiple times and the display has been bright enough in every situation. And it has been bright comfortably so. This is not something I can say for a lot of phones in this price range or beyond it. As for content consumption, the display is good enough. Good colors, excellent contrast. There is no support for HDR on Netflix, so you won't see the brightest highlights on Netflix, but still the experience is good enough. But along with these great choices, Nothing also chose to put in old battery tech inside this phone. See, a lot of phones in this price range are coming out with silicon carbon batteries. These batteries are smaller in size but bigger in capacity, making sure that even if it's a small or a slim phone, you will get 6000 mAh or even 7000 mAh inside the battery, which is massive compared to the 5000 mAh you get on the Nothing Phone 3A Pro. Now, all of this does mean that other phones will be much better with battery life. I'm not gonna say Nothing Phone 3A Pro is bad with the battery life because it is actually pretty good. I regularly got more than 7.5 hours of screen on time. The phone regularly lasted me a full day and many times more than a full day. So yes, the battery may not be as big as it is on other phones. The battery life itself is actually pretty reliable. And yes, even if there are other phones with faster charging and chargers inside the box, the Nothing 3A Pro actually supports PD charging, which is a really good feature. This means any laptop charger, which usually charges at a wattage higher than 50 watt, can easily fast charge this phone to 100% in less than 70 minutes. Yes, it's true that the other phones can charge faster, but that's limited to the charger that comes inside the box with the phone. Here, the fast charging can be done with any laptop charger as long as it charges the phone at higher wattage than 50 watt. So yes, maybe the choices are inferior when you compare it to other phones. Still, they are plenty smart. But the one thing that elevates the path that the Nothing Phone 3A Pro took is its absolutely beautiful software. It is new, it is exciting, and it is extremely smooth, even though not always stable. Let me explain. Every animation, every scroll through, every swipe is extremely fluid. The animation for closing or opening of apps, the transition from an app back to the widget it was opened with, everything works and is done really well. But even better is how much Nothing OS has grown with its third iteration. While the UI on all other phones is starting to blend together into the same thing with similar elements, similar quick settings, similar blur effects, Nothing easily manages to stand out, just like it does with its design. The quick settings panel gives you complete freedom to rearrange it as per your liking, which is the best. You can expand every tile, and in case of some, you can expand them for better utility. You can expand the silent toggle to be able to easily switch between the 3 sound profiles. You can expand the Bluetooth tile to see the device that you're connected to. And all of this showing up in the look you decide is honestly the best thing ever. You also have 2 different icon themes you can use. A monochromatic style that I love, especially because how easily every icon ever can adapt to it. I have never seen themed icons executed this well. Every time a phone does this, it's always a mess because half the icons can't adapt to the theme. But Nothing OS forces the theming in a style that looks good. The colors also slightly change in tint based on the colors of the wallpaper. The second theme is just the default icons. And the great thing here is you can use both of these styles together. Use the monochrome icons on the home screen and the colored ones in the app drawer if you have trouble spotting the app you need. As for the colors in the rest of the UI, you see monochrome across all of it, with the extra colors having a specific purpose. The red color shows up whenever something is enabled, be it a widget or in quick settings or the gallery app. The second color that I've seen come up is the yellow shade, which typically shows up whenever you do anything AI related or Essential Space related. And Essential Space is the best use of AI I've seen apart from Google and Samsung. Everything about the app itself ticks with the extra button you find below the power button. Single tap clicks a screenshot which is analyzed for context and saved in Essential Space for you to find later. Hold the same key and the phone will record whatever you say. This can accompany the screenshot or be recorded standalone. The phone analyzes the audio, understands what you said, transcribes it, and if there are reminders or important details, they're extracted very accurately. The reminders show up in a combined to-do list along with the date and time set for it. Important details appear as bullet points under the transcription of the recording. It can get the spellings wrong, but it would always get the context right. The accompanying screenshot can also add to the context of the reminder. The best thing is, you can go into a monologue filled with multiple reminders, multiple details and ideas you talk about, and all of it will be saved accurately. But moving on to something I love a lot are the widgets. There is an excellent ever-expanding collection of first-party widgets that Nothing keeps adding to. The photo widget is excellent. You select a few images, which a widget will cycle throughout the day. You can choose if you want them to be in black and white or color, and you can also decide the shape of the widget. The recording widget is also excellent. Just tap it once to record any voice note. If you allow it to record anything playing on the phone as well, it can even record the calls if you want it to. The music widget is so cool and works really well. And there is also this Nothing News widget, which is just Nothing's CFO reading the news for you. And there is a ChatGPT widget that allows you to start a chat or voice conversation or lets ChatGPT see and analyze what you show it with the camera. And if you want a quick setting style as a widget, that's one of the oldest tricks Nothing OS has had. Plus, if you want your lock screen to not show any of the 5 pretty unique ways to see the time, you can just make the clock smaller, add your favorite widgets to the lock screen. And the concept of adding home screen widgets to the lock screen is so good, it is crazy that it is still limited to just Nothing OS. But I did like the clock, so I just chose to add the photo widget along with the time of 2 other time zones. And the best thing is, when I lock the phone, I can still see the photo widget along with the time of the 2 time zones I'm tracking. Now you know how much I love Nothing OS, but still, I did say that it's not the most stable experience out there. See, it is not nearly as bad as it used to be, but it will still give you one-off bugs. Sometimes I'll see overlapping menus, sometimes I'll see the quick setting tiles appear on the AOD, which is so weird. Sometimes the gallery app will crash. But all of them have mostly been one-off. Hence, I do not have a screenshot or a screen recording to show them to you. But these bugs do happen, and with updates, they have been fixed pretty regularly. But what I do have are a lot of pictures that I clicked with the cameras on this phone. This has been my favorite camera in this price range and a little beyond it too. But not the entire camera is my favorite, because the 8 megapixel ultra wide is pretty bad, and it is just there if you just have to shoot your perspective while standing inside a room or while standing atop a building. It does not look as good, and the results are just usable, nothing more. But what I do care about is every other focal length that this phone can click photos with. One of the most important things Nothing has done is fix their color processing. The colors now are accurate, realistic, and just excellent. Skin tones are on point for the phone that cost as much as the 3A Pro. This consistency is followed through on every focal length from 1x to 6x. The details are extremely rich without any noticeable over-sharpening. The more you look for them, the more you find them. The selfies too follow all of these advantages: great skin tones, excellent details, and natural colors. But one of the standout performance for me is the periscope lens on this camera, which far exceeded my expectations. I've clicked a huge number of pictures with it. I was consistently impressed by it. All shots are super detailed with the most on-point processing I would expect for the price. Portraits were also so much fun to click with this camera. All the advantages combined to create the most impressive portraits. Good skin tones, excellent cutouts, great natural background blur. And what makes it even better is the minimum focus distance being so low that I could click all of these pictures of miniature movie sets in a museum when I was in Lyon. It recreated the complicated lighting of every set and captured it to almost perfection, without ever really going out of focus. And since this sensor is pretty big, every shot I captured, no matter how good or bad the lighting was, came out really well. This is not something I can say for a lot of phones, even if they're way more expensive than this one. But despite all of this, there are certain parts of this camera, apart from the ultra wide, that will make you feel the price of this phone. If you click more than one picture quickly, you will see messed up dynamic range in the shots. You will see a halo effect around the subject in case the phone finds it complicated to process the lighting in the shot. And all of this talk was just for photos. If you shoot videos, you will certainly see problems with focusing, stabilization, and the HDR. And since the storage is not the fastest, the camera does show the effects of it and the consequences of it, because sometimes it'll be slow to respond, sometimes it might take a little while to process the photos. But this is the choice Nothing has made. A phone cannot do everything in this price point. The cost does not allow it to do everything in this price point. And yes, the slow storage, the slow processor do make me question the long-term expectations from this phone. I do not think that this phone will be smooth 3 years down the line. And if you want that, if you're looking for that, this phone is not for you. But at the same time, zooming out a little bit, seeing this phone as a whole, I see a lot of right decisions. The design is unique, practical, and holds itself well. The display is bright enough under the sun, which matters the most for any smartphone display. The battery life is reliable. The charging is smart. The software is easily the best for the price. All while Nothing keeps on pushing updates to make the OS better and better. And the camera is honestly the best you will find in this price range. These choices are the right ones. And hence, for one last year, I will forgive the slower hardware for everything that this phone does right, only to recommend the Nothing Phone 3A Pro.